stand at teasing me. Now it's time to show and prove.
Welcome back. This is Rubbin Minds. Before we went on the break, we were having a conversation about how the government can actually cut down the expenditure and the cost of governance so that they can have enough money to embark on capital projects that will benefit the people, especially considering the times that we live in. Now we want to move on to some entertainment. I know that there is a day that this pain will go away. Until then, I will just party it away. I know that there is a day when this pain will go away. Until then, I will smoke it away. Now, those were the words of the late singer Mohbad, who tragically passed on, and he was just 27 years old. From the initial reports, it was being said that he died as a result of an ear infection, but with recent revelations that have been circulating the internet, allegedly, there's so much secrecy shrouded in his demise. And the question on everybody's mind is, what killed Mohbad? Why was an autopsy not carried out? Why was he buried horridly, even though his face did not demand it? Nigerians are asking, is there truly a dark side to the Nigerian music industry that is filled with bullying, harassment, and even physical abuse? We're just truly hoping that the appropriate authorities will be able to launch a proper investigation into this matter and uncover the truths that every Nigerian truly wants to hear. We're going to be talking about the complex and shocking behind the scenes in the Nigerian music industry. And joining me in the studio is K Solo. Welcome to the program.
How you doing, bro?
I'm good.
I feel the type of way being here, but you know, I wasn't supposed to be here because of this, but it's what it is. As a custodian, we have to do the rightful and the needful.
Yeah. So the internet space has been filled with so many videos, documents, and of course, it is not in our place to validate those videos or documents. It is left for the appropriate authorities to interpret its validity. But truly, what is the picture? Before we get into the details of everything circulating, what is the picture of the Nigerian music industry when it comes to record label and their artists?
Oh, it's actually deep, and it's been a major issue that we've been facing for years. And a lot of people want to do music because they have the talent. A lot of people want to do music because they feel they're actually broke, you know. Now, most record label owners are businessmen, and they just want to make money. You see some contracts are terrible contracts that, you know, for people who have been in the industry, if you get through it or probably get a lawyer to go through, you ask yourself, like, why would you sign this? This is slavery. So it's been like that. So there's always been a problem with the record labels and artists from the foundation, because you look at it like, okay, I'm not putting the money down, I'm doing this, this one on my payroll. So because of that, they have to be on that slavery contract. It's sad, it's terrible. It's been happening for a very long time.
So if an artist wants to leave a record label, how can an artist leave a record label without any issues?
Now, most times there are always issues because most of these boys, like I said, they are hungry. They just want to show. They just want to put food on the table. They want to make their family proud. They just want, some of them, a lot of things is attached to signing these deals. They don't take time to go get this legal representative to want to check through this and say, okay, don't sign this. They are carried away with the razzmatazz. They're carried away with that big chains and all that. So you just want to be there. Like, okay, I'm the one rolling with this person now. So it eats more of them out. So they don't read this. And in the long run, when you want to leave, they show you this contract. There's one clause there that you didn't see because you were so much in the years. You know, so it's always been like that. So that legal representation has been thrown away from every of these artists. That's why they find themselves in this position. Most times, it's always a clause they never reach through. And it's also a bad thing for you as a record label owner, for an artist to want to leave and allow them leave. I have floated the label before, even though I didn't do it as business. But the real sense of it is, everybody that have worked through me, from Timaya to Clever J, you know, all of them they're standing well. There's never been an issue of such, because in the real sense of it, it's high time I tell investors, people who want to actually invest in music, because music is a new oil too. Get the right people to help you flouse this label. Get people who understand music. You have to lessen your idea of understanding, like, music is not rice and gari, where you put money, put 10,000 today, and you want to make money the next minute. It is not. It takes a time to grow.
There are also issues of certain artists that have left a particular record label, blaming the record label for their stagnation while they were at that label.
There's no
saying
lies.
that sometimes record labels hold their music and they don't release their songs.
There is no lies.
Just to suppress the artist.
It's not even about holding the song. Holding the song is very small. It's very small. There's this cabal I've always talked about a long time. And people looked at me at that moment and said that maybe because I was not on top of the game.
Which cabal is that?
The cabal that, you know, it's like, for example, I own a label. I have somebody in this channel. I have somebody in this station. I have somebody in this place, you know, like the network where you spread your song through. So if an artist leaves your label, the next thing you do is text message goes, bam, that artist song, don't play it. That song, don't fly.
So you blacklist?
You blacklist the artist.
So do you know anybody that has blacklisted a particular artist?
They've done it severally. I don't want to mention names here. They've done it severally. So many that you will hear calls will come in. Don't play that artist song. That artist song, please get it out of the airwaves. Now, the problem again is, see, when you own a station, I've had similar issues on Sound City. You understand? There's a guy called Olamide in Sound City. You know, he has done that severally for a lot of people. Just feel like, okay, if this does not go through my table, you should be out of it. Once you don't belong to their team, you should be out of it. It should stop. They've killed talent. They've finished talent every day in this country. Every day in this country.
So coming to the issue of Mohbad, because obviously that's why we're here. Can you tell me what the situation truly was between Mohbad, Naira Marley, and also Larry?
I'm not going to be so specific about what I want to say, but I'm just going to tell you what I think I know. There are a team of people that I think they're actually record label, owner, artist, friend of the family. But I think things actually went bad at the time when they wanted to leave the label. And that is where I think the problem started from. Plus, a lot of evidence has been flying all around, not even about the case of bullying and all that, but in terms of music, you know, I think that's where the problem started from, the case of leaving a label and all that, and not working and not having access to your catalog, and what is supposed to be for you is you don't get it. You get what I'm saying? And I think that is where actually started from. And for Sam Larry, I think Sam Larry is probably a friend of the house too as well. You understand? But I think he ended up being like, let me use the word they use on the streets, errand boy to Naira. You get what I'm saying? This is the boss, the record label owner, is a friend of the house, and yes, the artist. You know, so they are all working together as against the artist. So
did you know that Mohbad was physically assaulted?
I never knew. I never knew. Because trust me, as a custodian in this industry, I do not need to know you before I stand up, okay? And I have heard stories over the time, but I feel is because, you know, friends of the streets, when they come together, when they do things together, you look at it like, okay, they are together, they are in one family, they roll together, they do all together. But people, someone like me did not know. But I think a couple of people knew, but they shielded that information. The time I started getting into this matter was when I saw an interview from what's his name, from Bellash's mother, talking about the fact that he wanted to jump from the window because he wanted to leave a label, he was under duress and all that. That was when I started getting into the matter. I started gathering information and all that.
So what information have you gathered?
Part of the information I gathered is the fact that he's always been on threat. I've gathered information that he has never been able to walk freely. Somebody told me at a particular time that he wanted to drive in his car. If it was not for God, he was fast to close his door, and acid was poured on his car, and like the paint of the car shredded down. A lot of stories flying left and center, you know, and that actually shocked me. And that was when I actually got really crazy about this matter. Like, this is the industry we grew. This is the industry we started. This hip-hop thing, IOJB, ID Kabasa, Profiti, and the rest, we laid a strong foundation. We call ourselves, we didn't believe in just Nigerian music. We wanted our music to be heard all over the world. You know, I will do a song, I'll call Kabasa, listen to it, and listen to it and say, I think you should correct this. That is the relationship we build in this industry. But I'm shocked that with what I'm hearing, like you set up an entity and you sign artists into your entity, and you are grooming them for something as against the initial reason of bringing them into the label.
Did you see the video that allegedly Larry was about to hit Mohbad, if not that Zlatan came to his rescue? How did that make you feel?
I haven't been able to sleep since when this started. For 72 hours, I've been really, really bad. Just yesterday was the time I was able to sleep a bit. When I had conversation with the Nigerian police, you know, I had some liaison, you know. I spoke to a couple of people that I know that are strong men in the industry and people that are outside the industry. Because, you know, this must stop. This will never happen. Now, I'm going to say this again.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. You just mentioned the Nigerian police. You know, there was a document that was out there that the Mohbad took legal actions and put this matter on the police's table.
Yes.
But according to the Nigerian police, he never showed up. However, why were actions not taken when he was complaining that he was physically being abused?
Let me say this. I'm not going to take the side of the Nigerian police. Every day, they get millions of petitions. Now, when you put up a petition, you are supposed to press on a petition. But when you don't press on a petition, there's a problem. There's a problem when you don't press on your petition. Now, you are being called to come and push up on this petition. You didn't come through. You get what I'm saying? I am not going to say that that's right or wrong. But the point is, you must press on any petition. This is Nigeria, for God's sake. Regardless of this. Waiting they pay me for body, I can't fold my hands. I don't want to push it. You get what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, when I started this war with the police myself, they were still telling me that there was no petition until I pressed through the bigger authority. And imagine how Abuja is knowing that a petition was written before the story now changed and said, okay, we invited him, he didn't come. Negligence. You know, must it be a son of the emir? Must it be your bad son? Must it be a big man's son before you guys can attend to his matter? It's wrong. This thing is still beat back to the government at the end of the day because we don't even have a secular. We don't have anything to make us... There's nothing to put together and say that, okay, you belong to this industry, okay, you are a celebrity. When you get to a particular point, there's some things that you deserve and don't deserve.
Yeah. So now, like I stated in my opening statement, the initial report was that Mohbad had ear infection and he died from an ear infection. However, an autopsy was not carried out. Why do you think an autopsy was not carried out? And he was horridly buried.
See me, I'm going to say this straight. I think I'm going to say this as against Mohbad's father. I probably would say maybe Mohbad's father is being threatened by the people who are involved in his death. Because in the real sense of it, nobody should bury that star like that. You said you were in his house on Saturday. He still gave you money when you left his house. So why would you hurry to even bury him? And in the course of all this, you still got a coffin that was even smaller than his side. You got to bend his neck. Some things are very horrible. See, as much as I want to call so many people's name in this, I do not want to jeopardize the investigation of the police, one. And two, where I might come back on this show might be the fact that if the police will not swing into action in between today and tomorrow. Enough of all the long stories.
What do you think Naira Marley's possible involvement might actually be? Because he has put out a statement saying that...
Naira Marley is involved. Naira Marley cannot tell me he's not involved. He has a hand in his death. Somebody can be under your label and is being bullied every day. And you never came out to say anything. And you say you don't know about it, you're putting up statement. Anybody can put up a statement. Naira Marley has an involvement in it. He can't tell me no. If I were Naira Marley, he should turn up himself. Come into this country. Come and defend yourself. Put yourself out. Sam Larry does not even have anything to say. That one can be on the run forever. Because you can see his own evidences over your faces. Those are pictures, that's not doctored. So Naira Marley can never tell me he's not part of this. Anybody that is in this team that's still fooling him and telling him lies, they should better stop right now. he needs to come out and come defend himself. Because in the real sense of it, I'm just going to say by the law, and let's fool ourselves and say, okay, because it's still been alleged, it's not what you can say yet. Yes, I'll say it's been alleged. But you know what? I can say to his face, he knows about this. And let him come out and wash himself clean and say, I, Naira Marley, I am not involved in this. Then let the police do their due diligence like the English they used.
Also, do you think that there's a need for the government's body, NDLA, to release a statement? Because there's a particular video circulating the internet that Mohbad alleged that something was put in his drink right at their office. So do you think the NDLA needs to come out and debunk this?
It's appalling when you see public service where they cannot come out to speak, when they have to go through a long process, hierarchies, before a statement is being released. If it did happen, come out and talk about it. I've been saying this. You see, this thing is a ticking time bomb. Gunpowder, they are sitting on it. See, a lot of people is interested in this case, even inside this country and in diaspora. They're interested in this case because Sam Sultan died. We all felt bad, felt a type of way. But what is the different thing about this is the fact that a lot of people do not want to hear it. There's so many things that's wrong about it. So many things. And I want to say this again on this platform. I believe that the government of Asiwaju will not fold their hands and let this slide. I don't want to know who is involved. See, the street is upset. When I mean the street is upset, the street is very, very upset. A lot of people do not know who I am. But I still will not want to let anybody to know who I am. But in the real sense of it, Naira Marley need to come out and fix this. If the police needs to pick Mohbad's dad, let them do.
Talking about the streets being upset, like I said, right now it's just based on all the videos that we're seeing on social media. There's a particular one during his last show at a drink brand. He was performing for a drink brand. And then you could hear voices and you could hear people saying that Sam Larry will, quote and unquote, kill you today. Coupled with that video and also the video where he was shooting a music video with Zlatan where Sam Larry obviously tried to attack him. You know, well, what do you make of these evidences? Like we said, it is not in our place to authenticate it because it's left for the authorities. Yeah. However, what are your thoughts?
My thought is this. Like I said, Sam Larry has been a dog that's been used. I just want to say this. I feel that boy's death is not just for him alone. His death is for a whole lot of people that has been oppressed by Sam Larry and his quotes. A lot of people. I have moved a lot of evidences to the police, personally, and I believe they're going to work on it. A lot of boys have spoken to me back to back. This has always been what has been happening back to back. But you know what? People feel I know one person in power, then I'm untouchable. I want to say this in broken English. Who God no fit catch, never create am. There's nobody on this earth that is untouchable. And when it has to do with a star, that boy, see, outside his family that is going to go into hunger strike, a lot of people are attached to him. There's a manager that will start from level 0. There's a videographer that works with him. No more work for them. There's a dancer. No more work for them. There's a photographer. No more work for them. Everybody that's attached to that boy, his glory, is gone right now. It's gone. And this industry was not built in that foundation. Why must it continue? See, a lot of things has been happening in the past. I've heard story of the Banj too, at a particular time, on One Day Cool. I've heard so many stories. See me? Nothing goes for long. Nothing lasts forever. There must definitely be a payback for every soul who is involved in this boy's death. That's what I'm going to say.
What has been different? Because from what you've said, this has been happening in the industry, and it's not just peculiar only to Mohbad. Why is this case different? Why are people beginning to speak up now? Why has this gained momentum?
You know, I said something. I said his death is just not just natural. He has a strong head in Yoruba. They say, really, because this will have just slide. He's probably one of the only artists that has left a label in Nigeria that's been able to bounce back and release a song and make a hit. No artist has left a label in Nigeria with problems have been able to come back and make a hit. The band left more hit. I mean, Waneko left more hit. Waneko is still struggling so bad to get up to get a hit. Of course, a lot of people love him. I'm a fan of him. You get what I'm saying? So on the low, we dey push and we love him. So it's the love that we want for one day. But when you talk about a hit, Mohbad has been probably the only artist that has left a label with a problem, with an issue, and come out and made a hit. 1, a hit. 2, a hit. So it's a strong force, people to reckon with. And let me tell you the truth, because he died in a very mysterious way. We just woke up in the afternoon and just heard Mohbad is gone. For what now? Not be that boy. For what?
So
he has never been caught sick.
The recent rise in his streaming, where would the money go? Because it has been a topic of debates. Because there's still the case is still in courts as to getting back his catalog.
I overheard from the management saying that he was pressing on the case too to actually get his catalog back and all that. The new album he just released is under his own label, you know, and hopefully that's actually one of the songs that are actually trending, where he can make his money back as well. But in the middle of all this, the only thing I can say to Nigerian artists is they need to calm down. You need to do the needful. You must take it easy in your pursuit for fame and fortune. Take it very, very easy. There's a whole lot of hyenas outside there that they are not who you see them to be. A lot of them come on social media, they share money. They are not who they used. They are not who they are. Who they paint themselves to be in the public. Behind, they are wild animals. I'm just going to say this and drop it on the table for them. Be careful. Not all people we see on social media, you call them baba baba. They are wrong people in the real life. A lot of you artists that have talent can be stars. Just a time. Follow that process. They know that you guys are not ever patient. Is the reason why you always fall victim. And let me say this again. I said, before Mohbad entered into Naira's page, he would have sensed a lot of stuff. Naira can't tell me he's not into all this substance. You will have seen yourself that this place is not the right place I'm supposed to be. But you know the pursuit that I want to be big will keep you there and say, maybe for example, let me use like 1 year or 2 years, maybe I can go. Would they carry leg enter inside river? We call they shout cold. You are in there. You are in there. So for any other person, like I said, my war and my battle is not for Mohbad. It's for the ones that are still oppressed. A lot of people cannot talk. They're still under. Still sneaking. I know they know people in power. We are in power. We are all in power. But in the true sense of it, I'm probably not supposed to say this here, but while growing up, when we hear about their frats and all that, we used to hear that it is meant to protect the oppressed.
Yeah,
now,
talking about frats, there has been a lot of previous videos being released about Naira Marley's involvement back in Peckham in London.
Now, why are you the one oppressing your own? They see that place as where people run to. See, let me tell you about a little back. It's like about Christians too. Those years, those ages, those centuries, churches too were like frats, whereby you can't come out boldly and say, I'm worshiping Jesus.
So are you saying most record labels are like fraternities?
I am telling you what it is. I am telling you what it is. So it's not a crime. Fraternities is supposed to work to help you to the top. Whereby, e.g., I know you, you know this, you know that person. It helps you wire your song to the top. But what I'm saying now is this. It is not used for the purpose what it's supposed to be used for. It's like somebody saying that I belong to a Macadenuga family. It's more or less like a frat. Anything I do, it gives us a network to be able to come out and get to the right place in time. Because I'm affiliated to that Macadenuga family. So why are you now using the sole non-power you have to oppress the people? The Elegushi had to come and disengage themselves from your name. The same frat you think you have made noise about how to release a letterhead to saying that you are not their member. Why? I believe this is not a Mohbad's fight. It's not a Mohbad's thing. It's just that Mohbad is the one that is skyrocketing this. And I'm going to tell you for free that this is not going to slide. And it's a callback for every artist, celebrities. And I'm going to say this again. For every stars, any young artist that want to be a star, take your time. Take your time. All that glitters are not gold. You see me in my life, I say to a lot of them, like, I want to be remembered that I lived by my rule, not by the rule of the society. Now, you see a lot of celebrity, female celebrity on Gucci bags and all that. They don't tell these girls how they make money. So they go the extreme, want to make those money too. It's high time we take it easy on these people. It's high time we take it easy on them because it is not helping this society. I don't know if you saw a video of Ada Ame that just passed.
That's
that
a
passed.
memory.
You know, the video sounded like she recorded it yesterday, calling out Naira Marley. You are not supposed to be helping this society. People following this Naira Marley should go back. People doing this should go back. In the real sense of it, it is what it is. And it's still standing today. And I don't think this government is going to fold your hands. Even if he knows you, even if you guys you've dined together, see, you can go and solve it in jail. But you see, for this, we need to put sanity into this environment because you don't like it or not, bro, it's going to happen to the next person behind you.
All right, thank you so very much for coming on K Solo.